The following program is rated MA and may contain themes that may not be appropriate for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
On the block, hip-hop trendsetters, the school of hard knocks and that attitude era. Yeah, I just wanted to be one of the best, holding the mic as I'm yelling out D-Generation X. I will remember it. I never forget it. We've come a pretty long way. There's so much I can say. It's never really gone away.
It is Monday night, time for the Raw Patrol. As right off the get-go, I saw Team Chucky, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill making their way into the arena.
Yep. Yeah, have that going as we also see Damage Control coming in, as that is the matchup to look forward to. Damage Control versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for your WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And then we also see pulling in Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser as well in a beautiful car that I have no idea what it is, but the doors go up and slide up, so they're cool.
We also have Cody Rhodes walking in and mommy herself, Rhea, coming in.
Cody's not wearing her suit though. That's different.
He looked like he was about to be accepted into the draft with the NHL, the NFL, or the NBA.
He's in tracksuit. Hey, people wear drafts in the NHL draft, all right? No, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very intriguing episode of Monday Night Raw. If you ask me, I'm looking forward to it. What's one thing that you're looking forward to Raw tonight?
Oh, geez. I'm actually looking forward to that women's tag team matchups. But what I'm looking forward to right now is Rhea Ripley making her way to the ring.
I'm looking forward to Pete Pedals and Plays coming in saying, hey, my dear chaps, tally ho, and tally ho to you as well. Thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you. We are watching Raw. I don't usually start these things, so I may miss it from time to time. But yeah, let's have some fun as we are starting out with Rhea Bloody Ripley. As I said so.
It's been I just realized it's been a long time since both you and I did a Raw Patrol together.
And X leads deliver. Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah. What's up, man? How you doing? Hasn't been a long time. Well, maybe you and I, yeah. Or you just mean you and I, just you and I?
Yeah, just the both of us doing the show.
Just the two of us. We'll make it if we try, just the two of us.
So here's something, because last Friday you questioned the whole Rhea showing up on SmackDown. Perhaps Rhea gives us the answer tonight.
I understand the reason. It just didn't need to happen on SmackDown. That's all I'm saying. It made no sense to see all this Raw representation on SmackDown. You're telling me that there wasn't enough SmackDown representation for that? I get it. I understand it. But come on now. A little bit of an overkill there. Now, all of a sudden, I'm no longer questioning, who does SmackDown get from Raw in this trade that they made months ago? Well, there you go. There's all the people, if you ask me. But yeah, we do hear from Mommy. So let's see what Mommy has to say.
I was not expecting this. But at the same time, I guess I should have.
Okay, this makes sense because she can cash in on whoever she wants. That briefcase allows her to do whatever she wants. So that is okay to be. But Rhea, who has no reason to be on SmackDown, that made no sense to me. And I'm usually not someone that complains about seeing Rhea Ripley. And if you come in and say, I hate it when my stream is not in sync. Well, here, don't make me quote NSYNC songs now. But
is it tearing up your heart, Pete?
It's gotta be me. And quit playing games with his heart, man.
Well, now we got Liv and Raquel, I guess, trying to seek some degree of revenge, but with Tiffy kind of being like an innocent victim in this one, as Bobby Stats is Bobby Stats is coming in saying hello, Chris Best, hello, and Chris Parrish, hello, Bobby Stats to you, and we've got Pete saying it's like a Bruce Lee movie.
Oh, so one wax on, the other wax off. Well, when you understand what I was doing there. But hello,
Yeah.
Bobby. How are you doing? How is your Monday night been? We have Liv and Raquel laying a waste of Rhea and Tiffany Stratton.
I think we're going to get some kind of an uneasy alliance out of Rhea and Tiffy with this thing.
Potentially, but could this be a tag match that is added and then Nia Jax is the one left standing?
As right now we're getting a video package for Bianca Belair and oh my god, Jade Cargill.
There you go.
And this is pretty much sort of what I think Terry was hoping to see out of, or the Bulkster was hoping to see out of the women's tag team division.
Well,
as we discussed on the locker room breakdown.
He wants more story. He wanted more story. I wouldn't necessarily say this is more story. I think this is just more promoting. And then we have Pete Leeds coming in saying, at least Raquel is not showing us her back. LOL. Yeah, I mean, that got a little bit overwhelming. But at the end of the day, I think what this does is put more eyes and acknowledgement and more emphasis on the women's tag team championships, which I'm okay for. And that's why I say we maybe we just don't have a winner out of this match. We just have all the women's tag teams just come in and we just have a giant brouhaha.
Yeah.
But Bobby coming in saying maybe we tease that Tiffany Stratton cash in women's Money in the Bank on Liv Morgan, which was something that Nia on SmackDown did say that after she dominates Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel, that is Tiffany Stratton's opportunity to cash in on Liv. Now, we do have Jade and Bianca coming out as we speak. That match is next.
kind of annoyed that they're not going to be wrestling in the Chucky clothing that they came to the arena in.
I'll say this. I'm not happy that they don't have matching gear.
Yeah, unlike every other week where they actually had matching gear.
They have matching colors. I'll give them that, but they don't have matching gear. But so on a scale of elite or not elite, how do you rank Jade Cargill's representation in WWE? Actually, I'll say this: elite or better?
Better. Because what they're doing with her is miles ahead of what All Empty Wrestling could do for her, you know?
See, I Bobby coming in saying better too, and I have to agree. I think too. Obviously, I think she's way ahead in the ring than what she's been, especially when she was in AEW. She's more comfortable. She's more matured. She's also with people that are a little bit more experienced, a little bit more miles ahead, and there's a direction and there's a lot better help backstage, if you ask me. And that's just me understanding what WWE can provide, whereas I'm not sure what AEW is doing. I'm not saying there wasn't people, but I'm sure she had many ears or many voices in her ear, whereas this one's a little bit more of a steady approach and more of a little bit more of a controlled narrative with her, you know? Yeah, you can get A, B, and C here, but we'll show you how to go from A, B to C to D, you know, a little bit more structured. And I think that's what she needed. Even Ethan Page has said that in interviews prior. What I think we'll see a little bit with her is she's being pushed in the safe way to where she doesn't always have to be focus number one. She's not the, hey, please get this division out and running. But here's how you can slowly become a face of the division without needing to be in a ring the entire time, while people slowly understand you're getting better within it.
Right, because even when she did sign and she made only the Rumble appearance, we still talked about it for months afterwards. Like, what were they going to do with her? What was the plans with her? You know, how she did in that Rumble match.
Yeah, which she did very well. But yeah, no, I mean, has she had a little bit of hiccups in the way? Absolutely. But I mean, nobody today is going to say Jade Cargill is by far the most technically sound women's wrestler of all time, or ever, or even today. They're not going to say that, but what they are going to say is, hey, when I see Jade Cargill, the presentation is a home run, and what we're getting matches up to the presentation. That's what we're going to see. And there's going to be people that say, you know what? I like what I see. I want to buy the shirt. I want to support this. And I think that's a very, very honest approach to Jade Cargill, because right now she looks like $1 million, and she's not. If you bet on her right now, she ain't costing you anything.
Right, and I'm very curious. Actually, I'm very curious to see how they promote her once she becomes a one-on-one wrestler. You know, a single star. I'm very curious about how that's going to go. And I know we're not going to see that for some time yet, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and when we get that, we're going to get a very, very intriguing and experience with that, because she's going to be more ready in terms of the season way, more experience and better. Bobby's stats coming in with a question for me. Sorry, but would you like to see Gigi Ray go to NXT in WWE or TNA? Wherever she's happy. I just want to see my friends happy. Of course, I'd love to see her in WWE and NXT because that's my preferred company to watch. But if she's happy in AEW, if she's happy in TNA, then I'm happy for her. I just want to see her being featured too. Like that's another thing. Like give her an opportunity. Don't say we have nothing for you. Let her make that choice.
Man, Tiffany she's gold, you know.
The best part is had Tiffany did that to Nick Aldis, Nick Aldis would have done the same thing.
Yep.
I just love the stare. Oh, did I not say we're gonna get a Lash Car Jackson appearance on Raw?
Yeah, you did.
Called it. Holy damn.
But did I not say we were going to get an uneasy alliance between Tiffy and Rhea as well?
Sure, but come on, that's an NXT thing.
Yeah, because the NXT thing, you don't expect that, even though they did have the match on SmackDown. I thought that was just going to be, a one-off kind of deal.
Right. We have Bobby coming in saying, I'm happy to see her wrestling at Booker T's company, Reality of Wrestling. Me as well. And you called it. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you watch the stuff enough, you can pretty much see where it's going. But that is, I know, I'm proud.
You're gonna bask in your glory.
100%. It is the two most random chicks on NXT that are on the main roster in any way. Not gonna lie, I could see 7 other girls in NXT right now be given a shot on Raw and SmackDown, and it's them. And I'm not taking anything away from them, but really, and yeah, they're there. Now we're getting an all-star treatment out of this match here, and that's going to make you wonder, are we seeing the titles change hands? I think our general consensus is probably not, but Bess, what are your opinions on what you're seeing and where we're going to get to?
I do see, I do got Cargill and Bianca retaining in this match, because I don't know if I'm ready to see Damage Control with the tag team titles again. But the one thing that I got to take away from that intro there is, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, but Jade Cargill's confidence just really showcased right there in that intro alone,
She doesn't. She needs another ton other than flexing. I will say that.
Yeah. I'll agree with that, because to me, the flexing thing, yeah, sure, she can flex off her muscles and all that, but it's kind of a heel thing to do,
Not really. It's just over. I wouldn't say necessarily it's a heel thing to do, but I'm just saying after a while, it's like if that's all you can do, it gets a little stale.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I don't want her to be in WWE is what I thought of her in AEW, and that's a one-trick pony. And I think she's miles ahead of that. Bobby coming in saying he sees Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair retain tonight.
But there is one thing I am very glad about that I'm seeing in this match is the cohesiveness between Damage Control alone is just off the charts.
It should. They've been together for how long now? They've done stuff in a ring now. How long now?
Well over a year now since Kairi.
Well, that's just in the
return.
WWE, though. We're not talking Stardom. We're not talking other promotions, but...
Yeah, because I did actually find some footage of Kairi and IYO tag teaming in other promotions. So
yeah, and I'm sure they worked together in NXT at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm pretty sure they've been in a War Games as opponents, haven't they?
I feel like yes, because I know IYO has been in the majority of the women's War Games matches.
Yeah, if Hero's not back flipping out of a trash bin at War Games, what are we doing?
Yeah.
There's something disturbing about her in a trash can, and I'm curious. I'm really curious now to why she always hits moves perfect in a trash bin.
Can you imagine if she was in that dumpster match against Chelsea Green as opposed to Michin?
Wait, you want to see her backflip with a dumpster on? What do you mean?
Just the amount of innovation she'd have with just trash cans.
Now I can't unsee this from a video game standpoint.
That's it. I got to get a clip of IYO SKY doing something with a trash can when I work on my new Saturday.
No, I'm talking about the dumpster. She somehow picks the dumpster up and just backflips with that on. Like, that is what I'm picturing.
I can't get it out of my head either now.
Imagine her just doing a trash bin moonsault and she just hits the dumpster and you just see the Grand Theft Auto busted. Sorry, people, for that visual. But
I kind of now want them to do put the dumpster match in next year's 2K game, which they probably will now.
I mean, you might as well, but just bring back Duke the Dumpster's Roasty then.
Yep.
Come on, you're handing out Legends deals like they're baby Snickers on Halloween, so just do it. I can go for baby Snickers now, actually.
I'm going to wait till Halloween when candy goes on cheap for half off and then buy a box of candy.
Oh, nothing is better than buying the Halloween stuff on November 1 and like it just all goes down in price. It's like 50% off, 60% off. You're like, hell yeah.
Believe me, I do that. Every year I buy about 3 or 4 boxes of different kinds of candy. So, and being that, well, I do have a roommate that has that's diabetic, so that helps him out in the long run, you know.
Yeah. So that just worked out too well. Bobby, now you gotta go, hell yeah. Also, it might be the closest, if he says that, to him I've ever seen cursing on a comment. It'd be hilarious.
There we go, Bobby. Yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
Bianca just speared Io right out of her shoes on that one. Okay, so this is the other trope I kind of need Jade and Bianca to go away, to venture away from, but it's always Jade that takes the hot tag. I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but I seem to have noticed that.
Yeah, but anybody care when Ricky Morton was the one who always, did it?
I never even really noticed that with the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, man, so true. Here's my thing. If people care when it happens, it's not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
If the live audience cares, it's not an issue. What I don't want to see is, this. I don't want to see offense from the opposition in a hot tag. That's my only downfall.
Yeah.
That hot tag was so short, and I'm not a big fan.
That was a lukewarm tag.
Yeah. Man, there's something about the Royal Rumble being in blue that's different, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Oh, that backbreaker was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a fantastic match to start up Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
That camera angle made that move fall flat, if you ask me.
You're talking about Io's dropkick there when she came in, eh?
No, the tag move where I think it was Kairi that moved out of the way, just a camera view, and they brought it up just to showcase the power of the move.
Mm-hmm.
But then you don't see the person moving out. Just, I don't know. To me, that just fell flat a bit.
What didn't fall flat for me was that, I guess you can call it like a double team elbow drop from Kairi. Yep. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm. We're kind of getting that heel Io in this match, and I do appreciate that. She's kind of added. Okay.
That was a picture-perfect Asai moonsault, by the way.
I loved that assist on slamming her head against a guardrail. Though, like that came before that, though. Like,
yeah,
that was different, and I appreciate it. Okay, now both teams have acknowledged. Oh yeah, and there we go. We get. I can see. Did I not tell you they were going to get involved?
Yeah, and it makes sense to me because for why they showed them there. Now we get a feeling that maybe tomorrow night on NXT, either one of these teams could very well show up.
Yeah. But we do have Bianca Belair getting the win for her team after pinning. It was like IYO SKY. IYO SKY takes a lot of pins now that she's in Damage Control. Have you noticed that? Ever since she lost that title?
I have, actually. And I got to say, I love
she's taking more L's right now than my Oilers. Yeah, that's right. Self-burn. Did it before anybody else can. Now you can't.
Yeah. Well, she still hasn't taken more L's than the Leafs in the first round.
Well, they only take one a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but they have
does. To. She kind of does. She kind of does.
But they have to take 4 to get to that elimination.
You said rounds, though. You only lose one round at a time.
True.
You didn't say games. You said rounds. You tried to throw the technicality stuff on me on Friday, so I am bouncing that. Like rebound. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dated reference game, by the way. Yep.
So we got Bobby Stats coming in saying, I'm interested to see where Damage Control goes. Maybe they go to Marigold and challenge for their tag team championship or a single belt. I mean, if the deal with Rossi Ogawa is there, why not? You know?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I do like now is that we're seeing WWE kind of say, hey, look, we might not have anything for you. Would you be interested in doing this stuff? If I know they have a working relationship with Marigold, and I wouldn't be opposed to seeing this as well. Also, I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to see Dakota Kai being represented at Marigold whenever she's available again.
I could be 100% behind that. I wouldn't even mind if they brought some of the main roster guys to do this stuff over in TNA. Like I think she'd be fine over there as well.
Yeah. All right, Best. I'm gonna do something that's a little bit different for me.
Okay.
But it's just the two of us, so we got to help plug other people in the show, right? That's what we do, right?
Of course.
I'm gonna pretend to go to the locker room for a visit so we could do a little bit of that.
All right. Time for a locker room visit, not from OMD, but from Parrish, and where you can find the locker room visit. If you want to find yourself a shirt or a mug or anything of that nature, you can go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com, where you will find the locker room visit, Carl Carafel skull shirt, and even some possible Saturday Night Gaming merch as well. But yeah, let me see here. Bobby Stats coming in saying he liked the video or liked our video. Bobby Stats, we appreciate your likes and all that. While you're at it, guys, leave a like, leave a subscribe, even leave a comment telling us what you like about the video. Tell us what you hate about the video, about the show tonight. And welcome back, Mr. Parrish.
Thank you. I had to pretend to pee. No, in all honesty, that was I had to take a phone call there, and I just thought, hey, what a great segue where I could get this accomplished at the same time. And yeah, no worries. I did actually have to take a quick call.
This is the first week in a few weeks where I actually don't have anything on the go for me in my personal life.
But Bobby liked the video. Bobby, got to ask, did you like the new updated logos? Yes, that's right. As you see in the top here, we got a little bit of an updated Raw Patrol logo. You might not see a lot of differences, but I can assure you there is. If by chance you really don't know, can you now? But that best on Saturday nights. You got a little fresh look there as well. And on Sundays for the Chris Parrish podcast, I also have a fresh new look. Also, so a little bit of you got a little bit. You know, we're doing work over here. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. It's an awesome logo. Hey, guess what? A new logo will come in for 2025 on Netflix. We know Raw's going to change the logo. We totally ripped them off for the Raw Patrol logo. We're going to do something there.
Oh, we got a promo package for American Made.
It's a little bit of all right, if you ask me. Also, I said rip them off. Like that rip. Sorry. Self promo. Oh man, did you happen to see somebody? They made a American made thing, but they made it look like they were the new American Gladiators. It was so good.
No, but I got to see it now because
right. Oh my god!
Because I've said this in the past, but the American Made logo definitely has American Gladiators or G.I. Joe vibes to it.
And Top Gun, man. And Top Gun.
Yeah, and Top Gun.
Yeah. But man, if only American Gladiators was a thing now, I would be okay to see a celebrity like involvement in wrestling with American Made versus the American Gladiators in a match. That would be awesome. As a Canadian, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Especially Petey Williams and Bobby Roode and Team Ganda go in, and they absolutely destroy it. Just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, actually, hear me out here, because you got Petey Williams, you got Bobby Roode in there. Scott D'Amore, I'm sure, would just say, okay, cool. In fact, he was part of the initial working with WWE relationship with TNA. So you got those three as key proponents.
Yeah.
What? Who else was there? I mean, you can just put Sammy and KO there instead. It's great.
Bobby Stats is saying James Storm, but I'm pretty sure we're just mentioning Canadian wrestlers.
Yeah.
Which I tend to forget that Bobby Roode is Canadian.
He's from Ontario, bro. He's from the same province as you.
I know. That's... It's weird. But that I forget that.
Ethan Page would be a great thing. And Josh Alexander. Oh, yeah, that'd be better. Have the North in Team Canada? Yeah. Okay. Bobby, thank you. You win on that one.
Speaking of Josh Alexander, he had a great match against Eric Young this past Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Eric Young.
On Impact.
Yeah, he pretty much said he's not coming back to WWE, so.
Yeah. No, it seems like, he wants to finish out in TNA.
Oh, no. He did say he just didn't want to work with the other guy, not with the guy they have now. So.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, he absolutely loved working in NXT under Hunter.
Yeah, and he even said he was rehired to work with Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt as an early representation of what the Wyatt Six now is. So that's very intriguing. Also, that came out was, I believe it's Mark Briscoe, right? That is the Ring of Honor champion. Yeah, Jay passed away, correct?
Yeah, Jay's the one that passed away.
Yeah. Mark Briscoe said that him and Jay were set to debut as part of the Wyatt family if it wasn't for a Jay Briscoe tweet. They're pretty unhinged human beings that don't really care about what they say. So, yeah. That's very
Okay, so we have our first match in what is now the World Tag Team Championship Tournament, number 1 contenders tournament.
okay, but before we do that, that was a great segment between Pierce and Bronson Reed. Like, that was amazing.
You know what kind of vibe I got off that, though? Just from the way it was shot? It kind of made me think of the jury segments from Big Brother, not going to lie. And I think that's just because the whole outdoor setting, because that's how they do it now.
Not the jury segments, but the elimination ones where they're talking with Julie after they've been eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, they don't really talk to anybody in the...
Right.
When they do their stuff, they are always in a room. I'm going to free Otis t-shirt. It's awesome. It was a nice segment. What I loved is that we really... See, this is what I take out of this. Bronson Reed isn't a bad guy, but he's willing to be a bad guy if it means he has to go that route to get what he wants. And that, to me, is very compelling. Yeah, that's right. I say intriguing a lot. I'm now using the word compelling because your motives now for Bronson Reed are quite clear. He's honest about them. And honesty is a good guy trait. It's not a bad guy trait. Not to mention, he apologized for the issues he's caused, but he said there won't be this. So he's given an honest approach. He's apologizing for things. I don't look at Bronson Reed as a bad guy per se. As I look, I say the situation will dictate whether or not he acts good or bad. The only thing he's promising is that he is going to do whatever it takes to be the main guy and get in that spotlight. And I understand that, and I can respect that because he's upfront about it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love how blunt he was. And it's basically him saying he'll do whatever Adam Pearce needs him to do just so he can get that match with Seth, even if it means not acting out, you know?
Now, I understand it, but how many times in a corporate world are you brought into the office and the office wants to tell you you can't do this, you can't do that, and you just go and you have the balls like Bronson Reed to say, no, you know what? Hey, if you don't like this, I apologize, but guess what? This is what I want. So if you don't want more of this, just give me what I want. If you're not going to say I don't deserve it, then just do it. But if you're not going to give it to me, well, I'll get it for myself. That's very, honestly, not to the extreme, but it's a very, very relatable if you work in the corporate world.
Yep.
Which I guess technically he still does because WWE is very corporate. I mean, at one point, the corporation was a stable in the same company that Bronson Reed works in. So, yeah.
I mean, I've worked in the corporate world before, and I know what it's like to be pulled into the back room and then being told, hey, you're doing this wrong. And then me saying, hey, look, it's generating positive results for you guys, so let me just continue doing this.
What I always think is like fantastic to do is every time you're told you're just not doing this the way we want you to do it, and be like, yeah, but what issues is it causing? Okay, well then what would you prefer me to do? Okay, but how is that going to get better results than what I did? And then my thing is, well, is that better or is that just the results you want? And as a corporate company, you got to be able to distinguish the differences between the results you're hoping for and the results you get, because you don't necessarily know which is better until you see them. And if by chance the way I do something isn't the way you want but gives you better results, then maybe, just maybe, as a corporation, as a business, I just found a way and a flaw in the way you do things that should be corrected right now. So don't get mad at me. I'm helping you. I know, people, that's not our shoot. I'm just going into things.
Yeah.
Like, because...
Well, needless to say, a couple of weeks later, when they actually saw the numbers from what I was doing, they were like, okay, keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to give you crap. We're not going to give you shit anymore because you're generating sales for us.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, the people might complain about how much gas you spend to go from A to B, but unless you get to A to B in the first place, it's kind of the job, right? So sometimes the how isn't always the rationale or always the problem, but it's always questioned.
The War Raiders have made their return.
I told you they were going to be the War Raiders, and I also like the fact that it said Viking on it. Man, how nice is this?
I'm seeing a lot of the War Machine gimmick in this thing, and I'm liking it.
Yeah. Chris Van Vliet, if by chance you you like to watch us, why don't you just have War Raiders on your show? And instead of saying, who do you want next? Why don't you have a tag team next?
Oh, I like that.
Right? Oh, and I love that we're getting these two to start.
Yeah.
Ivar and Otis. Yes. Man, I was at a point when we saw Ivar on his own, Otis on his own. Part of me was like, let's just put them together. Come on now.
I remember you saying that on a few of our Raw patrols.
Okay, speaking of like two big guys, look at the shape.
Well, Ivar's definitely dropped weight, as has Erik, actually.
That's what I mean, Erik. Look at the shape of Erik. He is looking great. Very pale. He looks kind of like a Malachi Black a little bit. He's looking really good. And good for him. And to me, I'm just happy to see these guys back. And Pete, yeah, Vikings are back. So cool. That's right. The War Raiders is now what we're calling them.
I have to wonder though, when Sarah Logan comes back,
100% she's back with them.
that's where I was going with.
And Brandon Carl saying the old team is back. That's because Def Rebel isn't gonna be working them, and we wish them the best in their future endeavors. But yeah, you are completely right. And Brandon, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. But we're seeing a lot of YouTube representation on these comments, which, by the way, we just want to say thank you for that. But if by chance you haven't given a thumbs up to this video and to this stream, can you please do so? I know you probably wonder why, but it's just nice. It's like, Chris, this Friday. That has to be to you, right? I mean, we're both named Chris, though. So, like,
yeah. This Friday, SmackDown Security Detail. Tune in 8 p.m. Eastern to watch it.
Yeah. New logo, too. I'm putting over the logos. I'm proud.
Yeah, you should be, man. But the War Raiders win and advance in this tournament. I think I've got these guys winning the whole tournament.
You know what? Not only do I see them winning the tournament, I see them winning the tag titles. Yeah, no, I have them winning the tag titles.
Another fire promo from involving Adam Pearce.
That wasn't from Adam Pearce. That was Adam Pearce doing his job.
Yeah.
That was a fire promo from Seth Rollins, and I think that's a promo that we got. We didn't get the fun and games out of Rollins there. We got a very focused Rollins. You know, he was very honest with, look, you've done this, I've done this, Bronson's doing this. He's comparing the similarities. He's not making Bronson Reed look any different from what he's done or what Adam Pearce has done. And that's also showing a lot of respect to Adam Pearce, the wrestler turned general manager. What he's doing as Pete is coming in, it's a game, and we know it. 100%. Seth Rollins doesn't look like he's basking in what he's done with this. He's just proven a point. This is what I've done. I am not finished, because I'm not even talking about the end. I'm talking about how do I get back what I truly know I'm the best at, and what What he does know, he needs Bronson Reed. He needs that fight. He needs that test. I love that. I love the passion. I love the absolute focus out of that. We're just not getting Seth Rollins back at Raw. We're getting Seth Rollins, the former world champion, the former Money in the Bank winner, the former Royal Rumble winner. We're getting Seth Rollins, the future Hall of Famer, back, and that is very good for Monday Night Raw.
I 100% agree with you, but you know what else? You know what else is good? Showcasing everything we've got right here at Turnbuckle Studios. So let's take a look and see what we've got for everyone.
Oh yeah, new logos.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we get a variety stream with the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
Those logos are beautiful.
Thank you. I made them myself. Oh, that's like the best thing I like to say when people like meet my kid. It's like, oh my god, he's so cute. Love him. I'm like, thank you. We made him ourselves. To me, it's just funny. But yeah, if you didn't see it, not only does Raw Patrol have a slightly updated, more rugged, more raw type logo, but we saw an updated, even Turnbuckle Talk logo on there as well, with an updated Saturday Night Gaming logo, SmackDown Security Detail logo, and a new Chris Parrish podcast logo, which, by the way, we got some news coming in that will be a little bit more announced within a few weeks. But yeah, there could be a little bit of a second affiliation to the Chris Parrish podcast. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that, especially if you're in the local area of Edmonton, Alberta.
And speaking of upcoming things, I'm also working on another show for my channel. Nothing quite set in stone yet, but I'm working on an idea.
Very vague. Can you share a little bit of detail?
Let's just say first impressions make all the world.
Well, on that note, have a good night, everybody.
No, the idea I'm working on is, as we got Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, making his way to the ring. I'm working on an idea where I'm going to do a show. I'm calling it First Impressions, and it's going to be me playing video games I've never played before, video games that were from the past that were popular at one time.
Like Wave Race.
I actually have not played Wave Race, so that might be on the list.
I think I have it. Okay, like Ken Griffey Baseball.
I have played Ken Griffey, so
I play that. That's probably the most frequent game played in my household right now.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, is that a Nintendo 64 game? Yeah, damn right it is.
Yep.
See? Now, it's funny because I know in the States it's red, white, and blue. So when I see a suit, I'm always looking at it as a red suit with a blue tie, white shirt, right? Red, white, and blue. That is a hideous looking suit. I much more prefer what Cody has right now.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't be upset with a red vest. Same.
I think the one thing I like about Cody's suit is the fact that he carries a pocket watch with it.
Oh man, you have to. It's called a timepiece. Pete Leeds is going to be like, yes. Yeah, it's just proper etiquette. Also, Brandon Carl, can you be a little bit more on the, like, just a little bit more detailed on what you mean by Chris this Friday? I'm very, very intrigued. As we hear from the WWE What a great way to use Cody on Raw today.
Right? I didn't even factor in the history because, once again, they're in St. Louis, but I didn't even factor in the history of Cody and St. Louis. I actually had no idea that the We Want Cody chant started in St. Louis.
I love that Raw's in St. Louis 6 days after NXT was.
And 7 days after last week's Raw was.
Yeah. It's crazy. Why don't you do all these shows in Edmonton? I'd appreciate it.
I mean, it's a very long shot, but I wish they would come here.
Yeah.
But no,
long shot. That's what she said.
Yeah. But no, if we want to go enjoy WWE, we have to travel to Chicago, Detroit, or Toronto.
I mean, those are original sixes, so I get it.
Excellent exchange between these two. It made me look forward to the match even more.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where less is more in this scenario, because I do believe that the build-up is going to seem, oh, they could have done so much more. But here's the thing. These are two traditional wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
These are two traditional, old-school-minded, professional wrestlers who don't need to sell you on a microphone for a match. They understand that it's necessary. But when it comes down to it, their aura of champion is all it needs. And because of that, you will watch this match and you will be absolutely enthralled with what you see, because you may not be completely, let's just say, intrigued with the storyline that was the build-up, but what you will be is completely at the end of the match, and that is because they will put on a classic that you have wished pro wrestling does every single night.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you. Used words from my head. Bobby Stats coming in saying, I was talking to a friend on the phone. That's okay. I did the same thing earlier. Both great wrestlers.
All right, so we got Kofi coming out for his next match, or it will be his next match. So as he takes on Bron Breakker.
Now, do you think Cody Rhodes and Gunther is the main event at Crown Jewel?
No, honestly, I think if Roman's going to be involved in some way, which I presume he will be, I think Roman's match will be the main event.
Yeah, I 100% believe it's the main event. For two reasons. One, Roman Reigns is a big deal. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have not just one, you have two world championships on the men's side. I do think combined that is a bigger deal than Roman Reigns. And I do think with that absolute crown jewel championship that they want to behold on whoever wins, it's easily going to be a thing. Not to mention, this might be the one time I do believe that what Roman Reigns is in, it's not the most important part of what's going on right now. It's a very gigantic part, but I think the next step in what Roman Reigns has to do, it's a very integral part. It's just not the most, oh my God, I have to see this part. People might disagree, and that's okay. But I think right now, champion versus champion needs to be the main event. And I do believe both the women's match and then the men's match should be the last two matches on the card.
Okay, I can get behind that. As I was saying Roman being involved, I was like, well, wait a minute, what could we have Roman do? Then I'm like, Roman and Jimmy versus Solo and Jacob, maybe?
Well, we just got that match, didn't we?
We did. So you could even put Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa as opposed to Solo and Jacob.
So Bobby's coming and saying I could see Gunther versus Cody Rhodes as a main event, as Roman could be the co-main event.
That's even to say if Roman's even going to be on this card, because we don't know yet. We don't know what they're doing with him as far as this card goes, you know?
Here's a match I will propose. Jimmy Uso versus Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a match. That match will not need to be a main event, co-main event, whatever the case may be. But what it does, it allows you to have Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Tama, and Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden now what they do, and I say you have this start the show off. Plus what I said in the Raw preview, boom, you have Braun versus Jay. That's something you can do. And then you have Cody and Gunther main event. Now you're bringing in Kevin. You can bring in Sammy. I think you can do a lot of work and a lot of damage at the show, and I'm all for it.
Another thing I'm all for is this promo package for Dragon Lee that we're getting right now.
It's kind of intriguing to see that they're doing something for Dragon Lee, but nobody else in the LWO. Are they planning on separating the LWO?
I mean, I'd be okay with that. But I'm just wondering, what do you do with because Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio are the two top guys in that stable, and I'm just wondering, what do you do with Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild with after that? Do they fall to the wayside in the tag team division, or do they get that boost that they need in the tag team division?
Probably coming in saying Dragon Lee is a future WWE Intercontinental Champion. And to answer a question, no, you execute them as a tag team within the tag team division. They should be in this tag team tournament, or whatever that they're doing for the tag team championship. Right now, they're not going to fall behind the waistline. No, you need to establish your tag team division on Raw like you're doing on SmackDown. There is a lot of things you can do, and you just have to think outside of the box a little bit. Now, I'm not saying completely split up the LWO. I'm just saying do fade Dragon Lee away from the LWO for a bit. Or maybe he overtakes Rey Mysterio as the star of the LWO. Either way, I'm okay with. Now on that Raw preview review show we saw at the locker room visit earlier, we talked about whether or not we think this is going to be a squash match. You said more so, yeah. I said more so, no. If it was a squash match, it'd be over by now.
Yeah.
But two, what we're seeing right now, I do think we're going to get a very more typical competitive 2-hour Raw match, which was what I mean. Like, it might not be 10 minutes long, but what we get in that time frame of a 6 to 7 minute match, we're going to see something of value. Because we got to remember, Raw is now 2 hours. We have just over a half hour left to go in the program. So, yeah. I mean, obviously time is of the essence, but how do you execute within the time? I mean, that's what we're about to find out.
The one thing I'm liking about this episode of Raw so far, and I'm pretty sure Carl is going to appreciate this because he had some things to say about last week's Raw. There's more wrestling on this show compared to last week's.
Yeah, and what I've noticed is that there's a lot better of a way to kind of make everything more fluid, too. It seems like this Raw feels a lot more fluid than last week, which I think you kind of have to accept. Bobby coming in and saying Kofi Kingston is a nice opponent for Bron Breakker. Absolutely. And I think the one thing we're seeing right now with WWE and the 2-hour thing, you see that, okay, it was not so much a hiccup last week, but it was definitely they're just not used to producing a 2-hour show for Raw. Now, are they new to a 2-hour format? No, because SmackDown is, NXT is. So what we're used to seeing is just Raw being quicker. But how do you get that chaotic feel in a quicker episode? That is what they have to adjust to. And I think they're doing a good job tonight, even though it feels very structured. And I'm happy that we got a commercial in this Kofi Braun match because it signifies 100% no squash.
Yep.
And I like
so
when I outsmart you.
Yeah. So we aren't really getting a squash, but we are getting Bron Breakker putting on the dominant performance that he usually does.
As he should, though. He is a former Intercontinental Champion. He is the future of the WWE. So he is somebody that they're going to be very high on. And because of that, you got to be protective of his upwards rise. And because of that, nothing against Kofi Kingston, but he's not going to be the guy pegged to, take him down or anything like that. Again, this is why, I'm not the world's biggest Miz fan in terms of wrestling. That's why I'm not the world's biggest Kofi Kingston fan, because of his wrestling. But if you want to say, wrestling needs to be looked at as more of a fight, a competition, and who's better, who the hell starts off a competition or a fight with a drop kick?
That's actually true.
So in a nutshell, if you are knowing you're going up against somebody that likes to, go quick, likes to put the pressure, is a pretty physical dominant threat, I understand a running attack, but why a drop kick?
And if you're going to throw a drop kick him in the knee or something like that, take him down.
Oh, no, I'm going straight for the head, man.
Yeah.
Just crack him over the skull. That's what I would have done. Really stun the guy. You stun a guy like Bron Breakker? All right, you've given yourself an opportunity now. That is something I can appreciate, but he didn't. Also, Kofi's too happy. I can understand why Xavier Woods gets pissed off. No one is ever that happy. Not in WWE. even positively, Paige had a breaking point, man.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen Kofi in like a serious feud, you know, or at least if he was in a serious feud, he would still be smiling and laughing about it.
Well, it was the Usos from the tag division, right?
Yeah, maybe that feud he had with Kevin Owens when he was the heavyweight champion. But even then,
guy that you bring in that turns on you because he wants what you have out of jealousy. I can't see why you would get upset about that.
okay, for a second I thought Braun got busted open.
What made you think that?
Just how red his face looked in one of the exchanges.
You clearly don't watch enough Bron Breakker.
I really need to watch more of him. Yes.
The guy's head gets so red that a stop sign like even questions it and be like, wait a second. I must put the pedal to the metal and figure this out. I'm going to say this. I think Kofi would do better in AEW right now.
Why? So he can do flippy dippy shit with the Young Bucks?
He seems to be doing a lot more of that than the serious. Like his matches don't come off serious. I never thought of Kofi as a pretty wrestler, but now he's trying too hard to be one.
Bobby Stats coming in and saying that Kofi would do better in TNA as a part of the X division.
Absolutely. Have him and Chris Bay.
Yeah.
Up. Seriously, they don't look like father and son. Ooh.
Got Xavier Woods in the ring right now. So Damian is going to be setting his sights on Gunther.
Not necessarily Gunther, just the championship.
Yeah, because he only said it's time for Damian Priest to be El Campeon.
Yeah, he didn't say
Really.
Gunther.
Yeah. But I mean, that would be the general consensus, is that we would think that he would go after Gunther because he would want his world title back, you know?
Yeah. As we have R-Truth coming out now, doing his old shtick of the what's up on his own accord. It's really an old shtick, current shtick, whatever you want to call it. It's the R-Truth shtick. It's coming up next as we are heading towards another commercial. Part of me was kind of wondering if this was going to be the main event of the night, but no, we are set up to get a tag team women's tag match as the main event.
Yeah, it's going to be Liv and Raquel taking on Tiffany and Rhea.
Also, we talked about colors with the Judgment Day and whatnot. We did see a red and black jacket being handed from Damian to Rhea. So there we go. No black and white, no purple for Rhea Ripley. Getting some Monday Night Red right there.
Yeah.
Bobby coming in saying from our earlier discussion with the X Division, Kofi versus Speedball, Mike Bailey too. Yeah. What about Kofi and Santana? Come on now.
That's a match I would. That's a match I would pay front row tickets to go watch.
Yeah. All right, I'll just say as put Kofi with the Rascals.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Right.
It really does.
Have them go up against the system.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Hey, I was thinking about your scenario with them with Rascals versus the system.
We have a sound clip on that, but I'm not gonna play it because, well, I want to stay on YouTube, Bobby. So sorry. Oh, which, by the way, new song on the calendar that I played on yesterday. No copyright strikes. So that's nice.
Nice.
Blows my mind because I would have pegged them as a well more efficient and established song than what we were using before. But meh. Now, as we're kind of in a dead spot here of what we could do, let's signify a couple stuff we have going on, and that's a little bit of, if you want to be part of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, make sure you check out affiliation.my.canva.site. Yeah, that's right, the Chris Bears Podcast. It's part of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. You could be too. If you go to, once again, affiliation.my.canva.site. Now, if you want to make sure you get all the beautiful stuff that you see, like the OMD shirt that we saw there earlier on, like, here we go. We'll go right here. We got time for a Bubba Doos. We got the locker room visit. We even got Bubba Duke the Boar's Nest and the Carl Carafello shirt himself. Make sure that you're going checking out. Good old Carl Carafel's beautiful Carl Carafel Redbubble.com. Make sure you check that out as well, as I see it in here. We're just going to do it. ShopLiveGood.com/CarlW. Go check that out since you're on that. I got to get some stuff out here. So, yeah, go check some of that out as you can. As now we have bro going, yeet. Yeet right back at you, bro.
Oh.
Or maybe, bro, it's no yeet. As we're watching Monday Night Raw, as Jimmy Uso was in Jey Uso's locker room, and Jey Uso walked away after Jimmy asked him, "You got a sec?"
Mr. Parrish, I believe you called that one on Friday as well.
I say a lot of words. Some of them are true. Some of them are very true, like what you're saying right now. So, yeah. My did. Wait a second. My phone is. Yep. No, that's official. I did call it. They just returned my call right there. So, yeah.
Bobby Stats saying WWE should just give us a raise. Yeah, just put us on the payroll. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would just take a job because you know how much I would not. I would appreciate that. I mean, I can't say anything more. I don't know who's all watching. I'm afraid of Big Brother, man.
Ooh, we just got a Wyatt 6 glitch there.
We sure did. Why isn't the Miz wearing wrist tape? Here we go. A little bit of
It looks so weird seeing Miz not wearing wrist tape.
It's funny that Archery's got the win and Young's Young's the referee. That's fantastic.
Oh. And now we've got Jimmy trying to look for Jay, I'd have to assume.
Speaking of Big Brother.
Well, he found Jay.
He just has to find every other alphabet in the book to explain to his brother why they need to talk. See what I did there?
I do. And what if he does that by going through Sammy? Because that's what I was thinking. If he didn't find Jay, he was going to find Sammy.
Yeah, but this kind of goes to exactly what I've been saying. He goes to Sammy. He probably gets a very similar response out of Sammy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only for Sammy and Jay then to band together a little bit about the scenario, and then we have a certain wise man talk some sense into him.
Yeah.
If I legitimately have called this like a month or so prior, like, come on, then WWE should give me a raise. I'm gonna Now I'm just more curious if I'm actually right, because logically, like it works so well.
This is where we'd have to dig back into past episodes to see how right you are now, you know?
Which you can. Especially on that YouTube. You can go back and check out everything Turnbuckle Studios does if you're following turnbuckle.studios. By the way, if you're watching on the YouTube, make sure you give us that like, that subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification button to get yourself alerted to every time Turnbuckle Studios goes live. And when you're at it, if you're watching on YouTube right now, that thumbs up, just give it a good old-fashioned super kick from a man that bro likes. And he does a good old yeet. Come on. It's easy. It's a click. It's so easy. Even the 1, 2, 3 kid will do it. Yeah, that's right. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm not talking about it because it's not a self-plug that way. But I agree, Bobby. I agree. I'm going to say something stupid at the end of this episode, but it's going to be funny. Come on. I can see all you people on the YouTube. Just hit the thumbs up. Come on now. Come on. Just do it. Be Nike and just do it. Come on now.
Into the one
your way into that thumbs up.
Into the one who is watching on Twitch, hit that follow button. Good on you, the Chris Parrish, for hitting that follow button.
You're like, damn it.
So next Monday, Jay and Braun are gonna fight each other for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, there we go. We got the rematch now for that Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be very interesting to see kind of what goes on there. Are we going to get a little bit of tomfoolery, or are we going to get a little bit of redemption? Are we going to see Jey Uso completely eliminate Bron Breakker from his Intercontinental title chase? I'll say this. I wouldn't be shocked to see Jey Uso be that transitional champion in this scenario. A lot of people might not like it, but with everything else Jey Uso has going on, let's say I would not be shocked.
I mean, it may feel a little too soon, but what if the Bloodline were to interfere in next week's match and cost Jay the Intercontinental title, thus making Jay want to join Roman and Jimmy?
Everything is a possibility now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. We got Bob coming in saying, I'm thinking Wyatt could be targeting The Miz since they show the Wyatt 6 glitch during the Miz against R-Truth. Now that he looks like he is working in agreement with the Final Testament, one could say that this is the Wyatt's next target.
Yeah, because let's not forget, the glitch showed up last week during a backstage segment with Karrion Kross and The Miz.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Raquel, please never wear those sunglasses again.
Yeah, they don't fit her.
Those glasses look like, remember those like blue and red 3D glasses that you used to wear?
Yep.
Those look like they're the next step up. You can't unsee it now, can you?
No, because now that I'm looking at it, it reminds me of my cousin's old 3D TV, and she had glasses that were similar to those for that TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, as now we are I decided to put this on my X account. If you're watching from the Chris Parrish X account, thank you for joining us. And also make sure that you're checking out Turnbuckle Studios and all its platforms, whether it's on YouTube at turnbuckle.studios, at the Twitch on Turnbuckle Studios, as well as all the other platforms. Make sure you're checking that out. Please like, follow, help us out. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you aboard more often.
Never realized, but Rhea looks kind of dwarf standing next to Raquel.
Oh yeah, Raquel is bigger than Rhea. It's not dwarfs. It's like maybe 2 inches.
It's noticeable, though.
No, just wait till, yeah, Tiffany's in the ring now. Just wait to see that different. Of course it's noticeable. You're like 9 feet tall. See, this is why not a lot of people like to plant trees. It's people like you, man.
Because we are the trees.
Leave us alone, all right? There you go. I just gave you the stump card. What you gonna do about it?
Okay, that was a really cool spot.
Again. Yeah, definitely. There's a level of, I'm going to say this, on SmackDown on Friday, I'm very invested in how Nia is going to take a part of the Tiffany Stratton usage on Raw tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I got to expect that because
Rhea's the one that attacked Nia, right?
Right. So I expect that Nia is going to try to get some sort of revenge on Rhea, you know?
It's why I do think we're going to see Nia at the end of tonight's episode and put everyone down. And you know what? I wouldn't be against her just holding up both Liv and Hers title with Tiffany just looking in the background at both and then looking back at her briefcase, looking back at the titles in the background.
Yeah.
As we're gearing towards the end of Monday Night Raw, that's right, we have less than 10 minutes left. Let us know what you think in comments about the 2-hour format of Raw. And now that this is the second coming of this era of the 2-hour Raw, which is only going to be for a few months, we presume, let us know what you like, what you don't like, but more importantly, what stands out to you with a 2-hour format for Monday Night Raw. We'd be appreciative of all and every single comment. Just please be respectful and make it a little bit on the showable side when we come to viewing your comment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, best? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dat.
Dat who?
No, it's who dat. What up, Go Saints? Boom. Yeah, that's I just made that up.
Nice.
During commercial. I get bored during commercials. I hate commercials. Can't wait for Netflix. A few weeks away. We're back though right now as Liv Morgan is taking to Tiffany Stratton. I wonder if Carl doesn't really like Tiffany Stratton the way he likes Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile, so or does he? We'll find out next week as he returns. We should have had a big graphic saying Carl Carafel returns to the Raw Patrol. Running joke now. I think we should do that.
Yeah. I was going to say, we could do that for OMD, but no, just no.
Bobby coming in saying we're still showcasing wrestlers during backstage segments and vignettes and matches during the 2 hours of Raw. You're absolutely correct. And that's a really good statement that you made, Bobby, because we're getting the essence of what the 3 hours are still on Monday Night Raw. What we're just getting is 2 hours of a 3-hour show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is definitely a smoother 2-hour show. I don't think WWE had an issue adjusting to a 2-hour format with Monday Night Raw. It was just, how do we focus on everyone? Now, I'm going to say this because I know you might say, how can I have disliked the usage of Rhea on Raw and not necessarily be this upset on Tiffany? And I'll just clarify this. Rhea has no reason to be on SmackDown as part of a Raw roster, whereas Tiffany Stratton does have a Money in the Bank briefcase. So she has an out to make Raw appearances. So I get that. Also, I would just like it to be at the very least explained to me whether it's a segment or whatever the case may be, between Nick Aldis, between Ava Raine, between Adam Pearce. If you actually decided to have all three GMs come together and say, we're going to sign for the good old-fashioned Canadian word, a treaty between the three of having a working relationship with all brands, okay, I'm okay with that. But until you do that, if it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna be on you about it.
Yeah.
Triple H might be all about the game, but Chris Parrish is all about the logic.
So then, in that sense, let's say Rhea came up to Nick Aldis and asked, "Hey, can I get some permission to be on your show?" And Nick Aldis is like, "Yeah." Then you would have been okay with Rhea showing up last week, right?
I still need something from Adam Pearce, though. I think it has to be Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. I believe all performers want to do whatever they want, whenever they want, for whatever they want. And yes, I made a word there. But it is, yeah, I don't want to say told you so, but Nia Jax is on our screen now.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
That was awesome.
Just even from a number standpoint.
Well, I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Yeah.
With Dawn coming out and making the save before Tiffany could even cash in.
But listen to the crowd with Tiffany Stratton, though.
Yeah, they were behind that. They were behind her cashing in.
Yeah. What this actually gives me a lot of kind of feel with. Remember how Triple H was trying to tell Batista after winning the Rumble to go to SmackDown and to challenge for that title against JBL at the time?
Yeah.
This seems like this is exactly what Nia's doing. Was trying to tell Tiffany Stratton to go and cash in on Liv Morgan this entire time.
That's why it leads me to believe that
Tiffany's going to cash in on Nia Jax, man.
Yeah.
100% she is.
Oh, yeah. I'm just not sure when. I don't think it's going to be at Crown Jewel, for one thing.
And it could be. It very well could be.
Watch it happens there, too, eh?
Either that or War Games. You have to think. I mean, they gave us a giant surprise last year at War Games. Why not? Raise the cage. The women's War Game is done. Just when we think we're moving on, Tiffany cashes in on Nia.
Because then you'd have Nia laid out, beaten up from whatever damage she took in the War Games, you know?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I like this. I think they do it before Royal Rumble season. Whatever they do it at Royal Rumble. You open up with a women's title match. Nia Jax versus, let's just put Michin in this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe her dumpster match against Chelsea Green. You got to get the whole thing on SmackDown if you want me to say it. Now, or on Fridays. Maybe that gives her the next shot. She goes to, or a future shot. She goes to SmackDown. Nia Jax, right before the match, or maybe on SmackDown right before, finds out that Tiffany did not enter herself into the Royal Rumble match. And she doesn't know why. And Tiffany Stratton, in my mind, I think, would be the first person to cash in at the Royal Rumble.
I kind of like that, but I also thought of the scenario in, again, it'd be a bit of a long shot, but what if Nia enters herself in the Royal Rumble still as the champion and Tiffy cashes in the middle of the Royal Rumble? That would just, I think that would be your comedy segment or something like that, or your shocker segment in the in the Women's Rumble match, you know?
Yeah, I don't think you need that in the Women's Rumble. Honestly, I wouldn't put the comedy stuff in there. Not to mention, I wouldn't put the comedy stuff over the title.
True.
So that's the only thing. I would, yeah. That way, hey, this is an opening for Nia Jax to win the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah. If she were to cash in prior to the Women's Rumble. But
now, spitballing here. I love the fact that Tiffany Stratton had the word Toodles on her gear. It was respect.
Yeah. But overall, Parrish, what were your thoughts on tonight's show?
I thought it was a very good show in the sense of what it's doing. It gives us reasons to watch the product moving forward, but then it also gives us intrigue a little bit now. Okay, we saw Kofi Kingston and both Xavier Woods both lose an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship, or not on the Intercontinental Championship, but they both lose in back-to-back weeks on their own accord. We saw Jey Uso come in to help Kofi. And Xavier Woods noticeably did not accept the help. He did not give a handshake or a high five to Jey Uso here. What we did see with Jey Uso, though, is further acknowledgement of Jimmy Uso trying to, for the better part, attract his assistance in their fight against Solo and the Judgment Day. What we did see also is Tiffany Stratton shine on Monday Night Raw. In fact, merely almost cashed in on Liv Morgan, and we're seeing more teasing and more aggressive teases with the Money in the Bank. On top of that, we saw the War Raiders come back and advance in a tag team championship contendership tournament, which is absolutely amazing. It's Bobby coming in right on point, Sam. Looking forward to who challenges Finn Balor and JD McDonough. I'm saying the War Raiders are not only winning this tournament, they're winning the titles. Mark my words. So we're getting a lot of foreshadow. We're getting a lot of amazing stuff. We saw Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend come out on Raw, and they played a part in the tag team title match with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Damage Control. So we saw a lot of that. But I'm saying okay. We also saw a little bit more further storyline going between The Miz and R-Truth, with R-Truth getting a little win, but a statement made by The Miz. Is he a part of Final Testament? We'll find out. But we all know that the Wyatts are looking really close to this scenario. So,
yeah, this Raw just it went by a lot smoother than last week's Raw. Last week's Raw, there was a few bumps in the road, being that it was the first 2-hour show in almost 12 years.
Last week was the first one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I said this Raw moved better than last week's Raw. Last week's Raw had bumps in the road, I said. But yeah, everything about the show was entertaining. It flowed by nicely. You basically said everything I was thinking about the show as well. I did like the Nia Jax showing up because I mean you had to answer what Rhea did to her on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I love that we had Jimmy showing up and trying to talk to Jay, but Jay just not having any of it. I also like the fact too that, and I wanted to point this out earlier when you were talking about like the positives for 2-hour Raws is the fact that we're not getting every wrestler every week because we don't need to see them every week. We didn't see Sammy tonight. Because we didn't need to see him tonight, and I was totally fine by that.
And that's just it. I think we're gonna get, and I said this prior to the actual move to 2 hours, that this is just a smart way to keep everybody fresh and everybody with us. Give ample time to talents on the show. Don't give us a million talents on a show just for the sake of a million talents. Give us a rhyme and a reason to everything going on. And that's something that we just have to get used to. Patience is a virtue, and a virtue is very fulfilling when it's for a reason. And that, in my eyes, is what the R stands for in Raw, is reason. And I think Raw just stands for reasons and whys. Boom.
Boom. I like that. But you know what else I like, Parrish?
Food, beer, chocolate.
Well,
long walks on the beach, perhaps a good old chicanery board.
I do like those, but what I also like doing is using your promo code to save 10% at rogueenergy.com. So why don't you tell people about that?
Yeah, if you go to rogueenergy.com and you buy stuff, at the end, it'll give you a checkout screen. You can hit the promo code Perish under the actual button that says promo code. And you can write PERISH. Just type that. And guess what? When you do that, it'll save you 10%. It's amazing. In fact, it's a little bit of all right, as you hear me say. But at the same time, it also smacks you in the face. And you know what? And what wakens up your eyes, just like the beautiful products of Rogue Energy. In fact, get the strawberry kiwi. I double dog dare you. Didn't expect that I was actually going to have Rogue Energy right there, did you?
No.
Boom.
But I actually did make an order for Rogue Energy over the weekend on Sunday. So, but how about letting some of the people know what your socials as well?
Oh, well, that's a little intrusive, don't you think? Okay, fine. If you go to my link tree at linktr.ee/Chris Parrish. Don't slash in the bad way. That's illegal. Slash in the good way online. Yeah, you can follow all my socials, like my X account, where you can start watching the Chris Parrish podcast on Sundays at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. You can even check out my Facebooks, my YouTube, my TikTok, my Instagram, all that stuff. And it'd be just, a little bit on the thank you side. If you want to hit the like, the follow, the subscribe, all that stuff, because if you help my channel out, I can grow. And just like a successful podcaster, if I grow so much, I become able to make money. And when I make money, it's great because I can buy stuff like stuff for my kid, new house for my family, more alcohol for my podcast, just all the necessities. So yeah, please do that, and thank you.
Okay, before we go to my socials, we got Bobby Stats coming in saying we did a great job tonight. Thank you, Bobby Stats. We really appreciate that.
What he said, we did amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And if you want to find me at my socials, you can find me at my link tree, which is lanktr.ee/Chris_best83. There you will find everything that I've got going on. You'll find my TikTok videos. You'll find my my YouTube, my Facebook. Everything will be there. And on that note, I do think it is time that we say we bid our viewers a fond farewell. And be sure to tune in tomorrow night for Turnbuckle Talk, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. And on behalf of Chris Parrish, I'm Chris Best, saying so long. Have a good night, everyone.